And what's up, everybody? Welcome to Kung Fu Friday. We are Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber. My name is Alex.
It's Gons.
Con.
We are me and Nikansi right now are on this wavelength of energy, and we feel like, I don't know.
That's the jaded way to say it.
I don't know if you paddled hard enough, but you missed the wave.
You almost got paddled. Wait, sorry. Take that back.
This isn't Catholic school. So,
You don't know about the wave.
you don't. Yep, he just signaled some Moana shit to me.
It's a really, really cheesy high school film that they made us watch that's about an English teacher tricking his students into being neo-Nazis.
And that's it for today, everybody. You have a fantastic weekend.
We're sorry to have bothered you. No. What's up, y'all? It's Kung Fu Friday. It's a happy day. I come to you bearing some gifts for you all to binge on for this weekend. We're, of course, going to start off the episode. Well, I like to give a little synopsis before we get started. I used to record them beforehand or, after the fact of the episode, but I'm going to give it to you guys this time. We are a Kung Fu movie review podcast. We will check out some dope movies, some old movies, some not so dope movies, and some not so old movies, and give them your reviews, or give them our reviews, and recommend them to you. Hopefully once you all start listening in, you guys can start emailing us and giving us some suggestions. So that's kind of the gist of it. We usually like to start the podcast by filling you guys in on what we've been watching lately. So take it away, you. Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum.
My goodness.
I've been watching a lot of crazy shit.
All right, give us the top one.
So I like to watch comedy shows, and I typically watch them during the fall season is when all of these comedy shows are out. And I didn't watch them this last fall because I was out of the country for like a month.
Aren't you
Or
super
2
cool?
weeks, and then, but yeah.
No.
And then out of
You were
the
out
state for another week.
Hashtag not to brag.
No. But anyways, so I recently started catching up. I'm watching, and a lot of these shows are FX shows.
Oh,
which
nice.
I'm watching You're the Worst, the latest season of that, and also Better Things. Both of them are extremely funny.
Okay.
No relation
Yeah.
to Stranger Things. Completely different franchise.
You're the Worst is about these two people that probably shouldn't be together. Actually, everybody in the show should not be together.
Oh, I love that.
But they end up being together, and shit is just like insane in every single direction. But everybody is also sarcastic. So.
Is that the one with Zach Galifianakis in it?
No, that's a different show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
a noteworthy actor? Is
these
it all new
these
peeps?
people are pretty new
I
people.
could've sworn from what
They
I
probably
saw
got
you
famous just from this show.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Brand new cast, new peeps. Cool.
But yeah, and then Louis, Better Things is made by Louis C.K., but it's from the perspective of a mom, and she has 3 daughters.
Wow.
But it's a really funny show. Too.
and Louis C.K. got another season?
No. He made
He's
the
writing
show with
the show, yeah.
this other lady.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Plus Louis.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually,
We all know the whole deal with Louis, but
Yeah.
that's good.
you know.
But what about you, Con? Anything good?
In particular, I've been actually rewatching a couple of seasons of Good Eats last week.
Good
I
Eats.
love Good
What is that
Eats.
about?
It is Alton Brown teaching. It's a cooking show,
Uh-huh.
right? It's really old, actually. It's been off the air for like 6 years or so. And pretty recently, on Reddit. He said that there's going to be some new good eats, and I'm really excited for that. But it's a really good delivery of education and showing the science behind cooking and where like a lot of ingredients come from, and it's just a fun cooking show. It's really, really old.
Okay.
But surprisingly, like some people forget how to cook, and then they're like, "Oh, let me go watch this like crazy 10-minute like video or like 5-minute video," and you're like, "That doesn't teach you anything." Like, come on.
So
I can make a Reuben sandwich. It's like anybody can put meat together.
Meat on
you
bread.
know? Like, come on.
but it's cool. It's got like a fun twist to it.
It is easily my hands down favorite education and cooking show. It's got the education
go.
of like Mythbusters,
Okay.
where it's a little interactive and you feel like you're part of the show. It's just really good. Outside of that, I finally am more than halfway through AGDQ 2018's VODs. And what that is Awesome Games Done Quick. It is a speedrun marathon. Every year there is Awesome Games Done Quick, which is at the beginning of the year between January and December to February
Uh-huh.
is when it gets scheduled. And then in the middle of summer, usually around July, 4th of July, is Summer Games Done Quick. It is a 24-hour, 7 days long marathon of speed running.
You are definitely reaching out to a very particularly specific taste of our listeners. So for those of you who like to watch those kinds of things,
the thing that I'm reaching out here for is the nostalgia, right?
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so Good Eats is really great.
there you go.
People
For
forget
the
about that.
for the people who are cooking enthusiasts.
And want to learn how to cook something like that's also just fun old TV at
And-
this point.
And for those of
And
you
then Games Done Quick is specifically so you can figure out how broken your childhood game actually really is.
oh god,
Pick your favorite game that you can think of right off the top of your head.
Donkey Kong, and it's
like
over.
Donkey Kong Country 1, boom. That game you probably spent way too many hours trying to get good at.
Oh,
They will
no.
destroy that game in under a half hour.
I hate it. All right. Well, I'll give you guys a little breakdown on what I've been watching, and I won't go too deep into it for the sake of time. I've been watching Seraphs of the End, which is in, you guessed it, an anime. It's a fun little take on vampires versus humans. And I'm a sap for vampires, you know, ever since Buffy the Vampire and Angel.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah. More of an Angel guy. Guys, thank you very much. I did not.
That was a good off series, spin-off series.
Better than Buffy, in my humble opinion. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that one.
I
But
hope people do. I hope people are going to go out of their way to give you some hate for that.
whatever. Bring it. Seraphs of the End is a dope show. This kid is basically a society where the vampires killed about 90% of the human population, and now it's kind of like a tug of war for control of who's going to be at the top of the food chain. So it's pretty sick. These writers are masters of fucking cliffhangers. May I just tell you, if I had to start this show with one episode a week, I would fucking be locked away into an asylum for a week just to get through it, because I would lose my fucking mind. That's how good they are.
I'm gonna put them. I'm gonna have to take your recommendation for it and put them up there with the guy who makes One Piece and Akira Toriyama.
Oh god, Akira Toriyama. He's powering up for the whole episode again.
Meanwhile,
He may
this
shoot-
other episode is happening.
He may shoot it off next time. But anyways, guys, let's jump into the meat of it. Today, we watched
Paradox.
Paradox, which, Nikonto, you were saying that the art on it was kind of weird on the movie cover.
Yeah, the movie cover made it look like like a crazy sci-fi film.
And with the name like Paradox, it's kind of misleading with this what's the I can't remember the name for it right now.
With, like, the genre, or
I mean, yeah, I'm thinking of genre, but I'm thinking of just like the movie poster. I don't know why that took so long for me to think of.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm thinking we. What do you think, Nikansu? You want to start us off with a little bit of history behind it, or should I jump into everybody's favorite segment,
The plot.
the plot in one run-on sentence?
Yes, this movie was it came out last year.
Okay.
It's a drama and crime film. It's actually a really good film. It has Tony Jaa, who is basically the Muay Thai Jackie Chan from Thailand. Does all his own stunts, which is why I got this movie, because he was in it. Which, come to find out, he's not in it that much.
He's not even a main character. in it, so
sad, but he does some cool shit in it.
yeah, I still need to. Hopefully, one of the movies. Oh my god. One of the movies that we watch is gonna be Ong, because he's somehow Ong Bak. Somehow I have not seen that movie. Anyway, I'm gonna break it down for y'all.
Everybody's favorite spot, and 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, this movie is about a cop dad with a daughter who is trying to have a baby too soon. So then he takes her to Thailand, or he makes her run away to Thailand because of his overbearing personality. She gets kidnapped. Liam Neeson status. Chinese dad goes over to Thailand, freaking teams up with the James Carter, Chris Tucker equivalent of a Taiwanese cop, and then they go and try and find the motherfuckers who stole his daughter, and shit goes down hardcore. The end.
And by Taiwanese, he just meant Thai.
That's
That's
what I
different.
meant, and I
Pressure was on.
added 2 extra syllables because I was scared. I was in fight or flight mode. But yeah, I'm not gonna give you guys the ending. It gets pretty crazy. It definitely has a lot of twists and spins that will just blow your mind. I love the movie.
I'm just gonna put my elbow in your rib real quick and just tell you that this movie is a drama. That is not at all James Carter.
Man, what are you talking about?
Oh no!
I was really trying to get my James Carter, my Chris Tucker impression down during the movie. But why don't we jump into some of the categories that we we judge.
For plot, I actually really enjoyed the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The movie was really well paced. I didn't look at my watch once. The movie was 1 hour and 40 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
But I would give the movie a 7 out of 10 for plot. They did it really well. There was just, I mean, it's eventually you hit a point where it's the same story.
Mm.
Same story.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going to give it like a 6 out of 10. It was, it's kind of like a similar plot that we're all familiar with. The cop's daughter gets kidnapped, and now the cop springs into action to try and rescue her. Sound familiar? Yes, because it is.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? I give it a 6 because they did a different approach to it, and definitely kind of mix in some tragedy in there. So
I'm gonna give it a 7 actually, because the plot, if you put all the plot points together other than your 1 minute plot, I felt like it was actually told really well.
Mhm.
Overall I feel like the plot may have been simple when it's boiled down, but the storytelling is part of it, and it told the simple plot well, which puts it at a 7 for me. Yeah.
Okay, cool. What do we have next?
Acting. I thought
Yeah.
the scenes were amazing. Like the acting, I was drawn into the film the whole time, and I was like, "Oh, what? Ooh, wow, man!" All in that same amount of time frame.
Yep.
to
all
argue,
those syllables.
To argue with or argue in agreement, like I feel like that might just be part of the fact that we've been watching a lot of older movies.
Yes, I agree.
So like what was there still felt like it was good, but I'm kind of drawn back from like we've been watching so many older movies that like maybe the older movies are just
This was
old.
just a fresh spin on life.
It was a
Like
nice.
50 years into the future, fresh spin.
We're fucking culture shocked right now.
We're like, wow, this is what the future is gonna be like? Man, let's never go back to the past. Only every once in a while. Like, not a lot. Dude.
That's a good amount right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But again, arguing with agreement, one thing I wanted to say was the English scenes actually felt really natural.
Yeah.
That was a real like shocker to me as far as acting goes. That like, or maybe just like directing it in general. That it didn't feel out of place because usually the English parts are like really jinky. Think about within Ip Man. Even in Ip Man, those English scenes kind of felt like they're just doing English because like they can. You know, it felt really weird. This was in context. It felt really. Oh no, that's totally possible. That's totally possible. I kept backing up.
Yeah. So what do you give it? What's your ranking?
I give it a 7. It was really solid overall.
Okay. I'm gonna have to agree. It was a 7 out of 10 without being too blown away from modern time acting compared to 70s acting. But no, I thought they did a great job. I like Nakansi, like you were saying, I was very sucked in. I was very much putting myself in the shoes of the father. I thought the actor who played the father of the daughter was he was amazing.
I fucking called it when I said this shit's about to be sad.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a sad movie.
If they're opening up the scene with some sad piano and there's a child there laughing and smiling, you're just like, oh, you're gonna rape my soul, aren't
with
you?
the music.
That's what they did.
It wasn't necessarily the saddest thing because it was still really bright. But you were like, wait, that's some soft piano stuff.
That's what it was. It was
weird.
Why are they playing this montage like this?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm looking back at my childhood memories,
Oh no!
and I'm about to lose a cat.
Also, the way
The video
the way
when
that
your dog,
was-
the day your dog died. Is that what you mean?
Don't talk about it.
Okay, never mind.
Also, that was shot really. Just that opening scene alone was shot nicely with the way that they were like, oh no, like they're like it's a child holding it, and then whoop, whoop, like
Oh, hey, that's so funny that you mentioned about how shit was shot. Cinematography. What you give it?
wait, did we get Martin's score earlier for the acting? I forget.
Yes.
okay.
Wait, just fuck up my intro. It's okay, I'll cut that part out.
He's trying to be all hype man over here.
He's a basically walking, talking soundboard. What'd you give
Anyway.
the cinematography, bro?
Overall, that was a easy 7. Like,
Yeah.
there was nothing like wrong, and I mean, I wasn't like. I think to be fair, again, we've been watching older movies. Like this felt just like everything clicked immediately. I'm like, oh man, this is like this is a modern kung fu film.
It was well done.
Like,
just really nice cuts.
Yeah, I recognize
Clean.
everything. And
Yeah.
Fluid. Your head didn't go like this when you're looking, like
What?
like misdirection or anything.
Yeah,
It was like
what?
pop, pop.
It's I'm gonna go. I think it's really hard, to really, there's a lot of good examples of martial arts scenes or just fight scenes, and they're getting better and better every year in action movies. But there's a lot of times when you're watching a fight scene, you kind of get lost in it. So I thought they did a really good job of not wasting any space in the fight scenes and really using its surroundings to kind of emphasize or just make the shot or the move much more epic. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Mhm.
I'm going to give the cinematography a 7 out of 10 as well. very well done. I enjoyed it. Nah, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Whoa.
Up a grade, just because I can't get over like all the different cuts they use for the fight scenes. They made everything look so clean.
without overusing the cuts too. Where it's
Yeah.
just like
Like when we watched The Bodyguard, they had some weird cuts.
They did. So
Yeah.
that's a good one to compare it to.
Okay, but didn't we give The Bodyguard a lower score, like, pretty fairly?
Well,
for-
because they didn't have a lot of. Well, yes, we gave it a lower score, but and then also, they didn't have a lot of fight scenes in The
Yeah.
Bodyguard.
Actually, speaking of
This one had 7 fight scenes.
Hmm.
3 of them were very short. They're kind of not considered really fight scenes because nobody was fighting.
Did you count
Just
the one where
people
he
were
broke
getting the shit kicked out of them.
So did you pick the one? Did you include the one with the coffee mug?
No, but I included the one like right before that. But that was crazy. Whop, I would have acted the same way.
So would I have.
Pow.
What a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
So fight scenes, there were 7.
They had some long fight scenes in there. The very last one was extremely long.
They were
I was
dope.
gonna bring that
The
up.
one with Tony Jaa was extremely long.
Oh,
And
man.
that was and both of them were a mixture of chase scenes and fight scenes.
Yeah.
Which is why I upped the grade on the cinematography as well, because the chase scenes, they blended it so well, from the chase scene to a fight against multiple people to a fight against one person to a fight with weapons, and I was like, wow.
Yeah. No,
Impressive.
It was fantastic.
To a saving a kid that's being chucked off the spoiler,
Being Michael Jackson.
chucked off the building, but I won't tell you if he lives or dies.
Cut that.
Yep. Good save. All right. Well, what's since you spoke about
Oh,
fight
man.
scenes, what's the next scene that you or category that you want to?
Action choreography would go right into that.
I think that's a great idea.
I think that's well paced.
I give it an 8 out of 10 again.
As do I.
Crazy fight scenes. I mean, everything just looks clear every single time I switch from a 50-year-old movie to a new movie. Like, wow.
The techniques.
You can
just
see
got
how they
better.
implement older things but make it modern.
Yeah.
Like the different joint locks. It looks so sharp and smooth now. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop acting like I know fighting styles. It was dope. 8 out of 10. Con.
There's, I mean, not necessarily knowing fighting styles, but you can tell just by watching, like, when something is not from a uniform.
Something
Thing,
that you're
you know,
used to.
it-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that's not necessarily bad, but it's not normally there. It's not what you're expecting, and that's pretty fair.
Yeah, and that's
Um,
always a pleasant surprise.
And being a Tony Jaa fan, a lot of his stuff it always looks brutal. And this was both the least amount of film coverage he's gotten, I think, and stuff I've seen him in, as well as still some of the most brutal, like, when he gets his knee, like, I can't remember, but I called it. I remember calling it. It's like, that's a signature Tony Jaa
When he
move.
knees the guy
when
through
he
the
when he flew through that
Yeah.
window or whatever, and just
through the window.
he loves that move. He does that move all the time, and every time I see it, I'm just like, he fit through and he's a projectile.
He's like shot out a cannon with his knee.
I felt like when we were watching this film, some of the things were brutal that happened in all of the fight scenes, but the way it was shot and the sound effects and the facial expressions, I felt like it was happening to me, and I was like, ooh, 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 ah.
Another good WTF moment that I captured, which we'll bring up later, but was, oh man, that was honestly an hour and a half, and it felt short. It was paced so well, I lost track of time. But the Chinese cop, I don't remember the actor's name, but he grabbed onto something and then swung around, got up, and just went back at it. That was,
Louis Koo, that's his name.
Ooh, cool.
Louis
name.
Koo. And then the other cop was Wu Yu. Wu Yu.
Oh, okay.
Who, me? No, who you?
Oh God. Oh God.
Got
All right. So we covered action and choreography. What's
damn it! I gave it a 7 out of 10. It was
yeah.
it was really good, but I still think that something else out there is gonna actually wow me.
There you go.
Next we have musical score and then our overall score.
I'm not gonna lie. The parts where the music did pop out were amazing. It just overall sound direction with the way bones are crunching, and the blade slapping didn't feel cheesy, because even in modern films, like the metal on metal noise can still be cheesy feeling. It didn't actually feel that bad, but a lot of the stuff in between, I wasn't paying enough attention to it, and that's kind of my fault, but ultimately I'd still put it at a 6 out of 10. It did its job, and there were some noteworthy high notes going on, but nothing that made me like pause and think, man, I'm gonna hire those guys especially.
I think I'm also gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I think maybe I'm spoiled by American films when they really. Or maybe it's like an action film. Like when you watch some movies and you're like, man, I want that soundtrack. That's like a 9 out of 10 for me. And like, you know what I mean? When they choose very appropriate songs that really either fit that character and what that character is going through, or what that character is about to do. But it just pops out, and it could be like, I don't know. There's like, you know what I mean?
Spoiled,
Yeah.
definitely
We're
spoiled.
spoiled out
'Cause
here.
the Star Wars soundtrack, amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible.
People will go just to listen to a symphony play Star Wars.
Oh yeah, it's insane. What about
Another soundtrack that's absolutely amazing is 2014's Fury with Brad Pitt.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
Anything that
Anything.
Hans Zimmer
Like-
does, Batman.
how about an indie film that I loved, Nick and Nora's Playlist.
Ooh,
Or
That's a good movie.
Or Perks of Being a Wallflower.
That's
another one.
good movie.
So that's kind of my 9s, even a 10. So I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because it served its purpose. It built the tension when it needed to. It built, we could tell like it was appropriately placed, in the beginning with the soft piano. We're just like, we know some shit's gonna go down. This is a happy moment, and they're about to lift us up with joy, and they're about to like pull the carpet out from underneath us, and there's gonna be no floor there, and we're just gonna fall through into a pit of sadness.
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 as well, just because it was well done, but nothing really stood out to me. It was just kind of there, but it served its purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be fair, to defend it, like either A, we're spoiled, or B, we're not actually connected to that culture in a way that we're like, we recognize like, oh no, like so and so did this part of this film, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the times out here, like with the way you mentioned Hans Zimmerman, you're like,
Well,
you're like, that's a soundtrack.
or if you listen to Hero with Jet Li, that soundtrack, amazing.
Or surprisingly, Bodyguard, was it? Or
Bodyguard had a good soundtrack.
I think it had
did.
the best soundtrack that for me anyway.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon soundtrack.
Yeah.
Amazing,
Maybe,
like epic and just like
there's-
beautiful. But this one was just like,
It's doing its job.
Yeah.
And I just read an article about how the absence of sound also needs to be used more often, and that actually helps with a lot of storytelling. And so, again, to be fair, maybe we are spoiled.
it was very punchy action soundtrack.
Yeah,
which is
fine.
which we have those in America, the generic action films.
Yeah.
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 But
All right. So
Transformers.
overall, I am going to give this film a 7 out of 10 very, very, very good film. Highly recommended. Definitely a badass film. But it's not like on my 8s. I consider great movies. This was a good, very good movie.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10 too. It's not a particular genre that I'm into, but I thought that the acting was so amazing that it bumped it up on my in my book of movies.
Easy 7 out of 10. There's nothing here that made me like upset. There's literally nothing that I was just like, I would never watch this movie. I might not watch it as many times as I've watched a lot of other movies. I might watch this like three more times, but I'm not gonna be like, no, you have to see this movie. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think we can end on a good note. I think we would. So you would recommend this movie to somebody?
Yeah.
Definitely. I give it a
easy
badass
recommend.
rating. This is a badass film. The action scenes are badass.
Yeah.
They're like,
I think I would recommend this movie too for people that I know would be into this genre of music, which is a lot of people. It's a lot of people. It's
Yeah,
just and when I say genre, I just mean I'm speaking
More-
particularly about the drama.
The drama thriller
Behind.
aspect.
Yeah, absolutely.
this was basically Taken, which but not everybody likes movies like Taken. It's
Yeah.
just a straight action film.
So that's kind of what I'm
Yeah.
kind of getting at. So
And you have to read. Most people don't want to read.
yeah, I think
Except for
most
the English scenes again.
But all of our viewers like to read, obviously.
yes, you do. You guys are literate.
Knowledge is power.
So we're gonna call this one a recommendation movie that we'll recommend, and I think we should end it on our what the fuck moments. WTF, mate.
Ooh, so there were at least 2 guaranteed good ones from me.
Okay.
Maybe 3.
All right, give us
Maybe
top
three. So-
2 or top 1.
So the first one that pops in my head is, again, as far as I've seen Tony Jaa, I'm a huge fan of seeing that signature knees through like the tiniest like opening. He just flies through it and just slams somebody. That was great. I was excited.
That was dope.
I was so ready for more Tony Jaa. Dang it.
You know what was great was that they were really good at like countering a hit when you think that that person had him. So it was one of those situations where like you saw the counter coming
It
from
was actually like
from the
like a duel going, like boom, punch.
They had some crazy counters. They had some
did.
crazy shit.
like the dude could be like midair and he's like, oh no, I know you kicked me midair, but I'm still gonna be able to punch you back. Or I know you slashed the back of my back with the butcher's knife, but I'm still gonna turn around and counter that. But
Second.
well, what I was gonna say was like it looked like the guy was gonna counter,
Oh.
and I thought a kick was coming, and then he faked him out with a knee, and I was like, oh,
Right,
dude, that just
right.
added to that.
Right. So second, what the fuck moment, at least for me, because I've been keeping track of these, was the spoiler alert. Tony Jaa grabbing the guy like by the crotch as he's going over to save him. Right.
Oh my
that
God.
leads into the I count that entire sequence as like just one big what the fuck moment. Was that into the spoiler alert that happens, like just that was all one part of like I can't believe this is it. That's all the Tony.
Yeah, I don't want people
like
to know what happens to that part, but every single time you think he's like, oh, okay.
you're like Tony Jaa.
Oh, what? Oh, damn it.
Trying not to spoil as much of the movie. And then the third, which again, this is because I'm having bad trouble keeping track of what part of the movie we're at, but pretty much that entire fight sequence with what was his name again? Something
Louis
Koo.
Mhm.
Yeah, Louis Koo with just the way he was just brutally demolishing and just like breaking arms, and then he I don't remember what he dodged, but it might have been just to like sweep some guy's leg, but when he grabs onto like that crate container and
Oh,
swings
yeah.
around, gets up
Yeah, that was
That
crazy.
was so badass. That was great.
There was one part that he was about to get hit with a knife, but then he flips the other way around and hits the guy. That was crazy. He just did a full like 180 and dodged the knife and hit the guy. That was a crazy counter. No,
Oh.
I'm talking about it was they were just fighting on their feet, and he just goes.
Basically, like takes his legs and kicks him.
He does
over his
like
head.
a upside down like a guile kick.
Yeah, I don't even know. I think that's probably the closest you can come to. Like,
Explaining it
that, yeah.
until they see it.
Okay,
That was a good
mine
one.
was when the American or the Irish Asian dude who could speak English,
So clear.
wearing a zoot
For
suit.
real.
His English was amazing. When Louis Koo's character finally gets through all the hitmen and the bodyguards, and he makes it to the big bad boss, which is that guy, the Irish Asian guy. And he's like, "You really are a wild boar," and he does like the boar sound.
He did some. Those were good pig squeals.
And
He
I was
might have
like-
gone to Tennessee for that.
Yeah, and I was like, "That's a legit like this. I like this villain. This is a really good way to open this scene to draw the intensity out."
That guy's crazy.
And then
Yeah.
he snorts.
I don't even know how to do it.
He follows up with a yeah. He follows up.
He's
with,
like,
and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" So all the build up of this big showdown was just completely deflated for me because of those snorts. So you guys will see what I mean when you watch the movie.
Shit was funny.
I
Shit was
really
funny.
liked his energy. Like when he finally got on screen time, it was like, wait, this guy's great.
Oh,
Like, he's the villain.
last what the fuck moment.
I know what you're gonna say.
Oh, it's so painful.
I wonder if we
He-
should let them.
Oh, we'll let you find out.
Yeah,
There's a nasty like hook involved.
and
But
it
we'll
in-
let you find out.
It involves his little. What is the name of that little vehicle that he rides around on?
Like I don't know, it's like a little scooter.
It's
It
like
was
an
so
old person
weird.
Scooter,
Like
you
a-
know?
It's a pretty damn fast scooter though.
for what the overweight people.
You fucking just cringe through that whole thing. You're like, make it stop. It looks
Oh
so
my
painful.
That was a good scene because it made you cringe. Like you know that's what they were going for. They were trying to show it off, and it was just
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh. It's like watching a really, really bad car accident in slow motion.
and you can't stop watching.
Yeah.
It was pretty dope, guys. Check out the
Yeah.
movie. Shoot us an email. Shoot us a DM. We are on Instagram. It's as HSTSC33. We are constantly posting on there and counting down to Kung Fu Fridays, and then we
Yeah.
post the episode on there so you guys can listen to it.
Definitely.
see.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Check out, we'll have links on our YouTube channel for Khan's Twitch channel as well as our Instagram.
And then shoot us an email. We want to take suggestions from you guys on movies that you want us to watch, whether they're just dope movies that you think we should watch and you want us to review them, or if they're just terrible and you guys want to hear our twisted take on a review for those movies. And then Khan, why don't you give us your plugs?
Oh no, Nakansi said he was gonna plug my. He's gonna
heck
put
yeah.
a link in there, but again, it is twitch.tv/Cookie Ninja Carve, and leave us a comment about the paradox.
Yeah.
That's what the movie is called, and I just thought about it, like, huh.
It's a fucking paradox.
Makes sense. All right, guys. See you next Kung Fu Friday.